Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to a DFS strategy video for the 2023 Sony Open in Hawaii. What's going on, Ken, Ryan, you big hitter, you, and Joanne? If you guys didn't know, Ryan Henson took a lineup from the stream last week and won $1,500 bucks. Let's take a look. Ryan's lineup right here. Took this lineup. If you go to my Twitter, check it out. We've clipped a video. I think Ryan even clipped the video from last stream. We put this lineup together on stream, and that's what we're gonna be building lineups this tonight, I should say. So I usually go an hour into these things, go over the golf course, the tournament, look at pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. We will review the Tournament of Champions through the SweetSpot process just to give you guys some comfort in using it. I mean, comfort here. I think there's 1,500 reasons to be comfortable, right, Ryan, on the process, how it worked. Now, Ryan gave me 2 golfers to build lineups around. I gave him the other 4, and boom, he wins 1,500. It's amazing. So congratulations, Ryan. And again, what I like to do in this video, go over all the information I think you guys want to use when it comes to researching, go all throughout all the data, and then build lineups at the end using the process or the optimizer. So before we get into all of that, I like to remind people of giveaways, which we will be running here shortly. So I've teamed up with the Fantasy Golf Pod, not to make it a $50 monthly winner, but to make it a $100 monthly winner. They are going to sponsor the Pass Optimal and GPP winning lineup portion, and for that, they're going to give $50 to one of you guys during the monthly giveaways. So if you haven't visited the Fantasy Golf Pod, go check them out. I should probably put a link in the description. I will do that. Well, I might do that at the end of this video while I'm still live. You can always check it out if you're watching this on replay, but yeah, they're gonna give $100. And if you want a chance to win $100 at the end of this month, be subscribed to this channel. Better yet, also go subscribe to their channel. Now, that isn't a requirement, but it is a nice thing to do, since they will be giving an additional $50. So go check them out. But also, the same thing you need to do to get into the monthly giveaway, you also get into the weekly giveaway. So the weekly giveaway, I give $5 away. The monthly giveaway was $50 if we reach the goal, which you can see we already did. You see that all the way over there to the left? We're at 604 subscribers out of 600. 600 was the monthly goal. That was just a spillover from the last month's sub goal, or even the last 2 months sub goal, since, you know, there weren't many tournaments in December and not many in November. But anyways, here's the thing. I will add every 10 additional subscribers, I will put $10 into the pot for the monthly giveaway. I know I was just talking about the weekly giveaway, but the monthly giveaway. So we're at 604. What ends up happening is once we hit a goal, a lot of people just stop. They're just like, oh yeah, I'm not subscribed to the channel, but or maybe they are subscribed to the channel and they're not pushing other friends to do it. It's like, okay, we hit our goal, we plateau, and then we'll creep and creep and creep. Here, let me sweeten the pot for you. For every $10 over the goal, or every 10 subscribers over the goal, I will put $10 additional in there. So if we get to 650 subscribers, that $100 monthly goal or giveaway will be a $150 giveaway. So every 10 subscribers, I'm not doing every 1 subscriber gets $1. It's every 10 subscribers that we go over the goal, I'll give an additional $10. But like I was saying, the monthly giveaway is the same as the weekly giveaway. Be subscribed, comment below. That's how you earn your entry. You see it on the screen. Let me go ahead and show you the giveaway. We had 29 entries. Now, mind you, I've been doing a database. I started a database stream Thursday nights. Joshua Maz was in there. So too was Jim Lemoyne. Joanne even showed up. and they all commented. So guess what? That was part of the weekly videos. They also got entries into those weekly giveaways. So what I'm going to do every Thursday night is I will be putting together a database stream. And if you're interested, check it out. If not, that's okay. Those will be member only streams. Do you see the little join button down here? I think it's here. I'm not sure exactly where the join button is. We're YouTube partnered. I think I have the first tier subscription $199. But if you want to be a part of those database streams, $4.99. That's what it'll cost. You need to get into the white tier or the black tier or the championship tier. One of those 3 tiers, you will be able to watch live. The replay, though, will require you to have a black tier. The reason I'm doing this is I'm going to go over some sensitive information that I'm going to be using in building my website, and I don't want to give it away for free. It's not that I want to punish anybody for not being a channel member. It's just I'm not going to give that information away for free. I'm toying with, I mean, if I don't get any members signed up by this Thursday, I'll make that one free, but I'm not going to go over the information that I'll probably go over if I have members. But the replay will be membership only. So either be there live if it is for free, if there's not a membership required, or be a member and watch the replay. Anyways, let's get on to the weekly giveaway. I'm sure that's what a lot of you people are here for, but 29 entries, including those for the database series. I just click yes, and we get the first weekly giveaway, which is going to win $5. Let's have a drum roll. Chad Eckert from the Fantasy Golf Pod. I'll double check with him. He might want to throw this into next week's weekly giveaway. If he's in the chat right now, let me know. We can rerun it, or maybe I'll rerun it at the end of the giveaway, or sorry, at the end of this video, and see if you'd like to donate it. Sometimes he does. I think the last time he won, he did, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not gonna put words in his mouth. We'll double check. So anyways, congratulations, Chad. He is he's the guy that's putting an additional $50 into the monthly giveaway. So maybe we reward him, maybe. So that is your weekly subscriber giveaway. Now, I also do a prize picks. I have a prize picks promo code. If you use this and put $20 in your account when you sign up, I will give you $20 back. You can find a link in the description. That's all I gotta say. I'm really the only content creator that I know that's giving away money for using the promo code. Plus, you get a deposit match up to $100. Also, if you didn't know, I saw Gabe in here earlier. I provide a cheat sheet. This cheat sheet you can use. It's the same sheet that I'll be going over. I'll show you. I'll zoom out. So you'll get all of this information, all the same information I will be going over in this stream. It's available to you in the description below. Mine looks like this. Well, I'm zoomed out, but I'm going to hide this. But it's basically the same cheat. It is the same cheat sheet that I use. It's just in a site for you guys, shared for you guys. You can use the filters on there as they are. There's a DraftKings filter. There's also a bucket system page. When I go over the bucket system, we'll talk about that. There's a filter there. So you can use all of those at your disposal. And this is free. If you want a copy of this, just go up to File, make a copy, and it'll save to your Google Drive. So this is available to you. And of course, I will be building lineups with the optimizer, which I need to zoom out. Actually, well, this is what the optimizer looks like. I need to make a copy of this because this is the master. But we will be building lineups with this optimizer, which again, Ryan Henson won $1,500 basically using the lineups that we built on stream. So again, that is available to you. All you got to do is be subscribed to the channel, comment here in the live section or in the replay, and email me at SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. But I am going to make that copy right now. And if you want to text me or email me right now, letting me know you'd like to have a copy of this, I will email it to you on stream, because I do have my email up. So if you want to use all of that, or if you want to use this while we're going through it, be my guest. Just email me at SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. Okay, we are ready to go. Let's go ahead and get into this. And basically what we're going to start with is the course and tournament information. Let's go ahead and hit that transition. So I like to start here with the tournament fact sheets when it comes to the tournament and golf course information portion of the video. You can access these by going to the gcsaa.org, clicking on or scrolling down to the bottom, find the media room, and hit the tournament fact sheets down here. You'll find it right down here. Hit those tournament fact sheets. It'll spit you out to this. Let me show you. Click that, spit you out here. And then we have 2 tournaments for the 2024 season, the Century and the Sony Open. You'd want to click into the Sony Open and boom, you get this. Gives you the tournament name, which you should already know, but it gives you the golf course they're using. This golf course has hosted this tournament for a very long time, so there's a lot of course history you can use. You can see the location, the par, and the yardage. Those are big keys to data research as well. Green size, the average green size. You can see like numbers of holes that is in play. Another good one would be out of bounds markers. It'd be good to know how many holes there are there. The big important piece is the turf grass. I say this every single week. When you're looking at stats, I think it's probably best to filter by Bermuda for full weighted stats. If you wanted to take stats from other grass, I'd probably water them down. Like, don't use their full value. Maybe put a percentage in there. You're only gonna take like 50% of their total points, or however you want to do it, weights. That's what I would do. But Bermuda grass is what you want to look at. And by the way, I have that in the cheat sheet for you guys. So we are looking at Bermuda in columns AA, AB, AC, and AD. The first 3 columns. How many events dating back to 2013 have these golfers been in Bermuda events? What is their overall average finishing position? And how frequently do they finish inside the top 10? So I'm giving you a percentage here. I believe your best golfer with a decent amount of events would be Justin Rose. But you can go ahead and put a filter on this. Put a filter on it. You can sort Z to A, and I was wrong. It's Webb Simpson. It's not even close. He's the leader by 6%. I believe he also has the best overall average as well. If you're wondering why Webb isn't a higher priced golfer, if you're wondering why he's not ranked as high in my model, it's because last year he's kind of battling an injury. A lot of things going on with Webb. I imagine also he would rather much be a father figure as opposed to a PGA Tour golfer, but that's just my thoughts. But yeah, you can get all this on the cheat sheet. So turf grass is there. You also have additional notes to give you some ideas of what has been happening at the golf course or what is happening at the tournament. You can look at the architect, Seth Rayner. I think he was also the architect of Kapalua. Not positive, but I'm fairly positive. And then I think if you scroll down, yeah, you're going to get a lot of the information that is kind of interesting. Shortest golf courses. I think the red is giving you the information for this event, what applies to this event. Do with that as you will. I don't think it really matters. Some of it does, some of it doesn't. So that is really your course information. Now, I actually have another piece that I forgot to do last week. This is the Tournament of Champions. I'm going to zoom in on this anyways. But I don't want to go there. I want to go here and look at the golf course. So it was a year ago or two that I mapped out all the golf courses, looked at all the shot shapes I think that would matter at this golf course, and basically came to the conclusion that in order to score the best, a golfer is going to have this shot shape. Now, it doesn't mean you absolutely have to. Like, you could not have to draw the golf ball on hole 1. It may not allow you to get to certain tucked pins, but doesn't mean you can't make a lengthy putt. Doesn't mean you can't make a chip. Doesn't mean you can't make a birdie. But I believe having these types of shot shapes are beneficial for scoring. And it looks pretty even. Like there isn't a big advantage of hitting a fade versus a draw. So it's kind of negligible. And I only mention it to give you that information that I look at these things, but it just looks like it doesn't matter all that much this week. So then we go right into the tournament information then. There are 144 golfers in this field. We will have a cut, top 65 in ties. Your OWGR for this event, I shouldn't say that. Your strength of field rating, this is the old school way of doing it, is at 390. And the old school way is taking into account OWGR and then their FedEx Cup ranking from last year, putting it together into a formula, which I followed pretty closely with the old way, though the old way that the OWGR did. I just don't have the home field bonus points that used to go into it. So my strength of field usually is always off by 7 points, give or take. So it's either 7 down or 7 up. Isn't that big of a deal to me. But 390 is pretty good. 390 for a field like this. If we were to compare it to last year's event, 258 was the strength of field last year. And then do I have it for 2022? Sure do. 286. So this is considerably better when it comes to strength of field. And I think that matters because when we get into the pass optimal and GPP wing lineups, I think you're going to find out that a lot of 10K golfers don't show up either inside the top 10 or in the optimal or anything like that. It might change because of the strength of field this week. So throwing that out there. But yeah, that would be pretty much the only thing I need to add for tournament information. Strength of field is what I usually like to talk about. How many golfers are in the field. Average score. So average score, winning score that is going to depend a lot on weather. And it is Tuesday night. Hawaii has a late start. So most of us here in the States, or even if you're elsewhere, lineup lock is going to be super late. So keep that in mind. Lineup lock will be, I think here in the central time zone, lineup lock last week was 2 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m. I think it was 1 p.m. So you will have time Thursday morning to fiddle around with your lineups. That also means you might want to wait a little bit to figure out what the actual weather is doing. But yeah, I think it's really dependent on weather. And I just went to weather.com. It's not the most reliable place to go get weather, but I just wanted an idea of what's happening. Like if you didn't already know, it's rainy there right now. So Tuesday, precipitation's 50%. Tonight or Tuesday nights, it's going to be 74%. You know, and then it kind of dwindles from there, and it doesn't look like there's going to be much rain that's going to affect Thursday's round, but that night looks like there'll be a lot of rain. And then Friday is kind of the same thing. Friday, it also kind of goes away. So I don't know how much rain is actually going to be in effect Thursday in the afternoon for those golfers. So this is the first week. Obviously, last week was the beginning of the season, but this is going to be the first week we have a full field event that you have to think of AM, PM waves. It looks like the wind is going to be pretty consistent throughout the day. Again, double check that Wednesday night or Thursday morning. Personally, for me, I never want to go 6 full on one wave. So I've got my waves down here for my conditionals when it comes to the optimizer. So I have 5 and 5 as my max. I don't want 6 golfers that are going to be in the morning, 6 golfers going to be in the evening. I'm just going to keep it at 5. Usually how I do this is I go 4 and 5 because morning, I don't like AM, PM golfers normally. PM AM gives you a bit more rhythm because you get off the golf course Thursday night and you show up right away Friday morning, whereas the golfers from Thursday morning finish around noon, 1, 2 p.m., whatever. They have the full day before they go, and they have the full day off. And then Friday they come into the golf course around, 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Their tee times don't happen until 1 or 2 p.m. So there's a long wait, and I'd rather have someone, you know, a PMAM stack or a group of golfers in the PMAM waves that are going to have a little bit more rhythm. Now, not to say that you're not going to find golfers in that AM wave in the optimal lineup, because if we were to go look at last year's event, 2023, I keep track of this. So you can see the waves right here. Siwoo was in the AM wave. So too was Chris Kirk. So too was Andrew Putnam. They were all in the optimal lineup. Now the other 3 optimal lineup golfers were in the PM wave. But you can see even more AM waves. But like, look at this slew of PMs right here. This is what, like, statistically, you'd want more PM AM golfers than you want AM PM. But again, a lot of it's weather dependent. So just keep all of that in mind. Just remember that stuff. I personally don't mind building lineups tonight, and using that going forward, because you can kind of, I mean, like, the buckets are going to be the buckets. When it comes down to it, I'm going to trust those. And actually, I'm going to keep this like this, 4 and 5. I don't think I'm going to get screwed by having, maybe I'll do 5 and 5 just for this event. 5 and 5 just for this event. I might change that tomorrow when I actually build lineups for myself. But yeah, that's how I feel about weather. That's what I think about when it comes to these AM PM waves. You do as you will, though. Do whatever you'd like to. That's just, those are my feelings. I guess if we go to 2022, I'm keeping track of this. You can see the tee times right here. We got 1 AM, 2 AM, 3 AM, 4, 5, 5 to 5. Yeah, 5 to 5. All inside the top 10. So it's an even split. And I do have tee times 2021. AM, 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 AM. Again, another pretty much even split. 2020. Now this was a weather one. Here you go. I have, this is my time, so 5:10, 5:20, all that stuff. That would be their afternoon time. This would be a morning tee time, 12:50. So look at that. When it was raining hard in 2020, the one that Cam Smith won, it was littered with PM golfers up there. But look at that. Lanto was in the AM wave. That's why I said I max them out at 5. I don't want all 6, but obviously you could have built a lineup with all 6 and it would have been just fine. And I mean 6 from one stack, but this was all PM. And remember, if there is a weather delay, that pushes the golfers to the next day. And quite frankly, I don't mind my golfers playing 36 holes in one day. Again, I want to target the rhythm of getting off the golf course and playing right away. That's what I would rather target. And obviously here in 2020, it worked out. 2019, do I have tee times? I do not. Okay. So anyways, that would be the tournament information as well as the weather. Let's go ahead and get into the Pass Optimal and GPP winning lineups. Again, this is presented by Fantasy Golf Pod. They are the sponsors of this segment, and we're going over Pass Optimal and GPP winning lineups for the Sony Open in Hawaii. When we look at 2018, we have 6 golfers at the top of the leaderboard, all inside the top 5, and it made up $50,000. So we left 0. Remember, this is DraftKings. We left $0 on the table for this lineup, and this was the perfect lineup. You had a 10-6 Brian Harmon, a 9-3 Webb Simpson, and then we had 4 7K golfers. 4. Pretty remarkable. So that was your optimal for 2018. In 2019, we left a ton of money on the table. We left $2,700 to be exact. And who we had in this lineup was 10-5 Mark Leishman, 8-5 Matt Kuchar, 7-7-7 in Putnam, Ches Reavie, Hudson Swafford, and then 1 6K golfer in Davis Love III. This left a lot of money on the table. Your GPP winning lineup used an $11,400 Justin Thomas. Then it went to basically 2 AKs, Brent Snedeker, Matt Kuchar, 7K in Putnam, 7K in Reavie, and a $6,900 Keith Mitchell. So that's pretty balanced. That's a 10-8-8-7-7-6. If you've been with this channel long enough, you know I usually preach start with a 10-9-8-7-7-6 template when it comes to building lineups and make a couple substitutions. And what I mean by that is sub salary tiers. So obviously here, this GPP winning lineup did not have a 9K golfer. So what we could say is that guy subbed a 9K golfer down to an 8K golfer. So that's what I mean by a substitution. They used up all $50,000 of the salary as well. $0 left on the table. And then we have a realistic lineup, which is leaving $100 on the table. And basically that's a 10-8-8-7-7-7. That's 49.9. So leaving $100 on the table. That's a bit more realistic to get to. The optimal lineup, not so realistic, leaving $2,700 on the table. That GPP winning lineup was, but there's a lot of room for improvement when 3 of your golfers are 16th or worse. Or actually, they're all 16th place. Those 3 golfers down here. So far, it looks pretty average. What we normally see every single year. Ooh, I have a note here. Windy as hell. The one that Cam Smith won. Here we're leaving $2,200 on the table for your optimal lineup. And that was starting with an 11K Webb Simpson, 8K Cameron Smith, 7-7-6-6. That was your optimal lineup in 2020. Your GPP winning lineup did start with Cam Smith. It also had Kevin Kisner in there. So 2 8K golfers were already making Chad Eckert proud of the Fantasy Golf Pod by peppering the 8K range. Then we've got $7,500 Ryan Palmer, $7,500 Lonto Griffin. I am so sorry. I'm mixing this up. We're looking at the GPP winning lineup. Cam Smith at 85, Kisner at 87, Lonto at 75, McDowell at 68, Sung J M at 96, and $8,900 Corey Connors, who I'm sure a lot of people are going to play this week, and that's fine. That is fine. So that was your GPP winning lineup, which also left $0 on the table. So optimals, we're leaving like 2,000 plus on the table. To win a GPP, you don't have to leave any money, or you don't have to leave any money on the table. A more realistic lineup would be starting with an 11K golfer, Webb Simpson, Cam Smith, and Kevin Kisner in the 8K range, 2 7s, and a 6. So now this is 2 years in a row. The realistic optimal had a 10K plus golfer in it, 2 8s, 2 7s, and a 6. So take that as you will, however that makes you feel. I actually mentioned earlier in the video, we might not see that many 10K golfers, but we are seeing a ton of 10K golfers, not only in an optimal lineup, but also in the realistic optimal, and even the, I should say realistic optimal, realistic lineup, and then also the GPP. And it's no different in 2021. So in 2021, you've got your optimal lineup is Joaquin Niemann at 10-4. And then we just, go to a bunch of 7K golfers? 75, 7,000, 79, 71, and 7,000. Yeah, that's your optimal lineup. You left $3,100 on the table. That scored 761 points. That's crazy. Don't leave that much money on the table. Your optimal, or your GPP winning lineup, once again left $0 on the table. Scored 705. That is, 56 points less than the optimal, meaning that's a huge window that you can improve on. That GPP winning lineup used an 11-1 Webb Simpson, a 10-6 Colin Morikawa, so it's 2 10K and above golfers. We've got Kevin Knott 75, Chris Kirk at 7, Peter Malnati at 6,900, and Michael Thompson at 6,900. That's what won the GPP in 2021. A more realistic optimal was using 10K Joaquin Niemann, 10K Colin Morikawa. So a little different 10K strategy there. That's 3 10Ks, by the way, that we've used interchangeably between the optimal, the GPP, and the secondary, the realistic lineup. So those 10Ks and then 4 7Ks. So that's really different, and that actually breaks the typical, you know, 10, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6. We just have 4 7s and 2 10s. We just skipped the 9, the 8, and the 6K for that lineup. So 2022, your optimal left $900 on the table, and that included Hideki Matsuyama at 10.6, Russell Henley at 85, Seamus Power at 81, Glover at 68, and then 2 7K golfers. So 3 out of the last 5 years, we've either seen an optimal lineup or a realistic lineup use a 10K, 2 8Ks, 2 7Ks, and a 6. Now, salaries are not performance measures. So let's not get that wrong, you know, don't get that twisted. They're not performance statistics. They are, however, as Chad Eckert from the Fantasy Golf Pod would say, power rankings. We obviously start up at the 10K as our favorites of the tournament, and then we go down from there. 8Ks are no slouches. Usually your top 20 golfers are 8K and above. 25 golfers are 8K and above. So here we have 3 top 25 golfers in the field. In your optimal lineup, it looks like they're going to also be in your secondary lineup, your more realistic optimal lineup. So don't, and there's also another 8K golfer up there. There's 3 8Ks when I look at the secondary lineup. Let me just move to the GPP really quick, and then we'll talk about the secondary. But it is looking like choosing a 10K golfer is a smart idea. Your GPP winning lineup in 2022 was Hideki at 10K. Then you went to a $9,600 Corey Connors, then an $8,500 Russell Henley, 75, 74, 64. This person could have been listening to the SweetSpot DFS podcast, because they went 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6 in their lineup, and they won a GPP. They won the $5. That's $25,000 going 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6. Your a more realistic optimal would be starting with the 10K, and then we're using 3 8s and 2 6s. I don't know how realistic that is, but it is doable. That left $200 on the table. So your optimal scored 743, by the way, and your GPP scored 710. So that's actually a little bit closer than past GPP versus optimal lineup builds. And then in 2023, your optimal left $4,900 on the table. Don't do this. Don't do that. It is bad. It is a bad idea. Just don't do it. That's primarily because your top scoring golfers were very low priced. $8,200 Siwoo Kim, $8,000 Andrew Putnam. They're your most expensive golfers in the optimal lineup. $8,200 and $8,000. That's less than the average salary you have when starting to build lineups in DraftKings. Then you've got 3 7Ks and a 6K. That made your optimal lineup in 2023. That was last year, by the way. Last year. We look at our GPP winning lineup. That left $800 on the table. That's impressive. Very impressive. They only had 4 golfers inside the top 20, though. They had Siwoo Kim, Hayden Buckley, Lipsky, Montgomery, who was $9,000. Scrolling down, we've got Russell Henley at 98 and $7,500 Nick Hardy. That made up your GPP winning lineup. Now that lineup scored 610 points. Your optimal scored 677. There was 67 points between the two. Now I created a SweetSpot optimal last year. That was an 8K, an 8K, and I don't even know. I think this should just be called a realistic lineup because I don't think this is following any SweetSpot guidelines. So we have a 97, 86, 82, and then 3 7K golfers to make up your more realistic lineup. Now, the one thing to look at, because in the previous 6 years, was like, what happened to the 10K range? Tom Kim missed the cut. Sung J M missed the cut. Hideki finished 48th, and then Jordan Spieth missed the cut. I don't think of those 3 golfers you will ever see that again. That's a pretty good 10K range, and for them to finish that poorly, that's unacceptable. If I were to put a filter on the DraftKings sheet, I want to see what happened here. I love this. Marquee tee times. We had 2 golfers from the... Okay, it was the Sweet Spot Optimal. Adam Scott was with 2 10K golfers. That's kind of funny. Let's see. I got a 10K golfer there, 10K golfer there, and there's my 4 10Ks. Oh my god. So Spieth was in the morning, Kim was in the afternoon, and then the other 2 afternoons. That is just weird. I'm not going to make anything of that. In all honesty, it is very weird. Those are all 4 quality 10K golfers that should not have missed the cut. I don't have any weather notes on this tournament, so I don't remember the afternoon being tougher than the morning. That's nuts. Man, I wish I had my database up and running. Like, I would have all the scoring information and stuff like that. I'd know what was happening. Did Spieth almost make the cut last year? Is that what I remember? I think he almost made the cut. Doesn't really matter though, honestly. Okay. So that covers pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. I would like to get into the review of the Tournament of Champions. But before I do that, let me just check out chat. I've been talking for a while. Let's see here. We go down. So I said hi to Joanne, FR leader. So how much of that 15K does he owe you? 10% caddy fee. Obviously, everyone knows that, unless you're gonna stiff me like Kuchar, right? Gabe Brown goes, hey Eric, hey sickos, Ryan is crushing the game. Yeah, dude, that's 2 GPPs for Ryan in like what, 6 months, something like that, 7 months. It's pretty good. It was amazing lineup. Could have gotten second in the drive of the green. That would have been cool. I was looking to see if you would have won first place in the sand trap, which is the $20 one. And I couldn't remember. It was like flipping. I think the guy scored 848 points, and I think what, yours scored 838. So it was close, but yeah, I mean, it was close. It was a good lineup regardless. And I didn't play it because I built too many lineups and I had to make cuts, and I didn't like that one enough. Or at least I didn't see it. One of the 2. Lombardi Lee, what's going on, man? Nice to see you. Gabe says, give me lineups with Hadwin, Kirk, Cole if they aren't playing together. Yeah, you got that. Actually, just do Kirk and Hadwin. Okay, sounds good. And DF comes in. Thanks for the shirt. I think DF is Dan, right? You are welcome, Dan. You're very welcome. Okay, so we're going to move on to a review of the Tournament of Champions. Now, I like to do reviews so you guys can see how well the Sweet Spot process did. And we're going to start with the bucket system, which I look at this column here. I calculate the success of the buckets based off of my projections right here. So we really only had 4 buckets to project. Like if I take this filter off of this, you can see there wasn't a last week bucket to look at because there weren't golfers who played the week prior to this tournament. And I actually have the recent form buckets hidden right here because we also didn't have recent form. The PGA Tour hadn't played. They played 1 event, and it was like, it was a limited field event. It was 15 golfers in it. So I don't include recent form for the Century, and I also don't include recent form for the, I don't record recent form for the Century or the Sony Open because there aren't enough events. That's basically why. So we take those buckets out and we look at the rest of these, and I have 100% success rate, and I'll show you why. This says no down here because how I have this looked at, I could write the formula in here, but remember, there's always a 2-point cushion between the minimum and the maximum. The minimum projection 0, which means the maximum always has to be 2. I say this in every single one of my bucket system videos, so it's not something like I'm lying about. And there you have it. We had 2. So the reason this says no is just because I don't have it written into the code, but there you have it. It is 2. So it was 100% success rate for the buckets last week. The only other piece to really look at when it comes to trying to determine if the sweet spot process was successful, there's two pieces. One, to see if it will beat a GPP winning lineup, and the other is to see, did the marquee tee times work last week? If you remember my video from last week, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it would work because it was such a limited field event. But if I sort this by groupings and I highlight each of the groups just to make it easier for you guys to see, we want to find 2 to 4 golfers from the marquee tee times in the optimal lineup. This is why I go over marquee tee times. And the marquee tee times, by the way, are a group accumulation of their sweet spot ranks. The lower a group has for a ranking, like a total ranking, the better their group rank. So you can see Homa, Aubert, and Fowler at the top there. Homa was 7th in my model, Aubert was 5th, and Ricky Fowler was 6th. You can see that right up here. That total is lower than any other totals from any of the other groups. That makes them the best group in the field. Now, none of them were in the optimal lineup. Instead, my optimal lineup actually was Jordan Spieth and Sahith Theegala. So again, I tell you, select 2 to 4 golfers from the marquee tee times. Don't select golfers in the same group. So 2 to 4 golfers and not in the same group. So you'd want to find, you know, unique golfers. Your GPP winning lineup, by the way, had Colin Morikawa, Jordan Spieth, Scotty Scheffler, and JT Poston. So I said don't, you know, pair them up together, but there you have it. Jordan Spieth and Scotty Scheffler were in an optimal lineup together. So how much do I know? I also have in here your Sweet Spot Optimal, which was Scotty Scheffler, Sahith Theegala, and those are the only 2 golfers from the marquee tee times. I do have Sungjae Im down here, which was the 10th best in the 10th best group. And then we had Brian Harman down here, which was in the 11th best group. I mean, it's a tie for 12th, but should say a tie for 11th. And then Chris Kirk was in the 13th best group. So again, nobody played together in the optimal lineup. Nobody did. And when I go, that was not only the optimal, but that was also golfers in the Sweet Spot Optimal. So they didn't play together. And when I go to the comparison, like I just did for past optimal and GPP winning lineups, your optimal left a lot of money on the table. It consisted of $6,800 Chris Kirk, $7,600 Sahith Theegala, $8,800 Jordan Spieth, $6,800 Benny Ann, $9,300 Brian Harman, and $8,100 Sungjae Im. That left a lot of money on the table. Your GPP winning lineup left $300 on the table, and it was Scotty Scheffler, like I said before, Jordan Spieth, Colin Morikawa, which was the most owned golfer on the slate. Remember, don't play him because of ownership reasons. You have 11, 9, 8, and then we also have Poston at 7K and 2 6K golfers, which I kind of had mentioned during the Tournament of Champions, or the Century video, I should say. You want 2 6K golfers in your lineup because the optimal lineup was like 3 out of 5 years had 2 6K golfers in it. And by the way, we also have 2 6K golfers once again in that optimal lineup. Now, the big thing to see if the sweet spot process was successful was to compare it to the GPP winning lineup, which that was it scored 845 points, used left $300 on the table. So just to remind you, 845. The sweet spot optimal needs to beat 845. It scored 858. 858. So it beat it by 13 points, leaving $400 on the table. The optimal again scored 868. So 868 versus 858. The sweet spot optimal was pretty darn close to the optimal. And oh, by the way, just a reminder, Ryan, you get all the applause in the world for winning $1,500. This is using the sweet spot process. If you go back and you look at the Max Homa and Benny Ann lineup section of that, that's Ryan Henson. He was the guy. We built this lineup on stream. In fact, I think I even have it down here. Yes, I have the lineup saved right there. We built this, and I even said I didn't like it because I didn't like Chris Kirk, who ended up winning the tournament. So yeah, well, little do I know. It's funny when it comes to biases when you think about what would work and what doesn't. Okay, the last piece to go over in this first section, or the halfway point, basically, before we get to the halfway point, is to cover the bucket system for this event. Now, the bucket system, all this is taking snapshots of stats leading into the tournament and analyzing how many top 10 finishes do these stats have. Because how often, like, my biggest gripe when it comes to analyzing stats, especially like strokes gained stats, like, this is, I don't know how many people or how many of you were hearing around the industry, you know, we got sticky course history, so you want to use golfers that have really good course history. You also want to play golfers who played last week. It's pretty generic advice. If you think about it, that's very, very vanilla advice. Now, the bucket system, what it'll tell you is find golfers in each of these buckets and put those golfers in your lineups. It's not so much me telling you which golfers to check or to look at, but it's also telling you which buckets are more important. So like if we take course history, for example, I look all the way back, and let me put a filter on this. Again, you guys can follow along with me when I go through all of this. I forgot to mention that in any of the past segments. But if you wanted to, you go to the cheat sheet and you can go to the bucket system, put a filter on this, and we can talk about the same exact stuff. I do believe I want to look at recent form, though. Actually, no, there's no recent form, but last week, we want to look at last week's stats. So you can go ahead and put this filter on as well. Cheat sheets down below. Link, I should say, in the description below for the cheat sheet. So when we talk about like course history, so I'm going to clear out everything and just select course history. I have 6 buckets, and I have 6 buckets for each stat that I have. I have 6 stats. When we look at course history, how many golfers do you want with really good course history? That's what the bucket system answers. How about like middling course history or no course history? Again, that's what the bucket system answers. So instead of just saying you want golfers who've played here before or played well here before, maybe a bit more direction, you know, let's keep it more narrow. So golfers who have the best course history heading into this event. This is 20th place or better. Their average finishing position is 20th place or better. We see like a 19% success rate. So that takes all golfers that were ever in this bucket leading into this event, and it's calculating the success rate. So it's nearly 20%. So let's say 5 golfers were in this bucket over the last 5 years. It means 1 out of 5 finishes inside the top 10. Now, I'm only looking at top 10. I'm not looking for optimal lineups. Optimal lineups get very, very, very narrow, and it's very difficult to chase. But I'm looking at top 10s because getting 6 golfers inside the top 10 gives you the best chance to hit the optimal lineup. Here, success rate's 20%. But also, one other key factor is frequency. What frequency is looking at is you look at all years. All years. How many golfers from this bucket, I shouldn't say how many, was there at least one golfer from this bucket inside the top 10 for each year? And it's 88.89%. That means 1 year. I think if I date this back, it probably goes the last 9 events, I imagine. I think it was, or not 9 years, because it goes back to 2013. I think of the last 9 years, 8 of those years, there's been at least one 10K golfer. It's pretty good. Another good stat to look at is top 5 frequencies, which is available to you guys on the cheat sheet. You can take a look at that. 13%. So not only do they have a pretty good clip of getting inside the top 10, but they got a really good clip in getting inside the top 5. And if we really wanted to like dig into it a little bit deeper, we've seen at least one in the optimal lineup. I think 83.3 is what? 5 out of 6 years? Yeah, I think we go back 6 years for optimal lineups. So 5 out of 6. So it's probably best to take a look at golfers with the best course history and only select one of them. Just one. That's for GPPs, by the way. GPPs. I could open this up a little bit more. I'll actually go to the cheat sheet first, just to, since I have everything open up this way. We can look at top 20 frequencies. Looks like I got an error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Now, hopefully it's smooth on your guys' end. Let me know if it isn't. When I look at top 20 frequencies, so this is going just a little bit further back, you get at least 3 golfers finishing inside the top 20 that have really good course history. And it's a 31% frequency rate. I'm sorry, success rate. So again, that's taking all of the golfers from this bucket throughout the last 9 years. How many golfers that was? I could probably take a look, but let's just say 100 golfers. It'd be 31 of them finished inside the top 20. And a minimum of 3, which means at least 3 every single year finished inside the top 20. And you can also look at made cut percentage too. That's all available to you on the cheat sheet or link in the description below. Okay. So when we take a look at just course history, that's your best course history, by the way. And then the next bucket is that 20 to 40 range. It looks pretty similar. It has a little bit more. You can actually add more golfers from this bucket into your lineup, it looks like. I usually just look at these projections. Projections take into account success rate, the golfers that are in the field, as well as the strength of field points that are going towards it. So when the bucket becomes more quality, obviously there will be more strength of field points. I want that reflected in the projections. So I'm taking into account all of these things to come up with my projections. And instead of going bucket by bucket to tell you which of these buckets matter the most, how about I just give you the projections? And the projections are what I project to be inside the top 10. Couple rules here. We always need a 2-point buffer between the minimum and the maximum. If it's 0 for the minimum, that means maximum will always be 2. So we will always see 0 to 2. And that's really the only rule that I can think of off the top of my head. Maybe I'll talk about other ones when we get through them, but that's the only one that I remember. Anyways, when we look at this course history one, so the golfers with the best possible course history, we want 0 to 2. That's how this reads. So again, you can find this on the cheat sheet. You can take a look at all the projections. And then when you go to the cheat sheet, go ahead and put a filter on it. And when we look at the filter, basically all you need to do is just clear out all the buckets from the course history tab. Clear those all out and just put in 1. And then you'll get your golfers. We have 11 this year that are from that bucket, that are in that bucket. Let me just double check. Yeah, 11. We normally see 8.1. So we have 3 more than we usually do. Just throwing that out there. That probably, like that, I mean, again, the projection does reflect that. So 0 to 2, there's still a chance that no golfers finish inside the top 10 from here. But again, remember, 1. I think we just want to find 1 golfer if we really want to get specific, because we haven't seen more than 1 in the optimal lineup before. So when we go back to the cheat sheet, Corey Connors at 98. It's going to be a popular choice by many. Got no issue playing him. I know Justin Rose is being touted up. I think that's a good idea too. In fact, all of these golfers I have no issue playing whatsoever. Echeverria might be the only person I don't want to play. When I build the lineup, I might myself change the maximum to 1. Just so you know. That's kind of what I'm thinking of. Ryan Henson, I am sending you the optimizer right now. Not going to have anything like a message to it, but there's the optimizer for you. I'm going to change this to 1. 0 to 1, I think. I'm feeling that more than I want 0 to 2. Let's see, now that I build it, I changed all the projections right before I went live. Not so much the projections, but the conditionals. So course history 1, it selected 2. It was Benny Ann and Justin Rose, I believe. So if I actually make it select just 1, and I want to bring back some of these guys, I don't want these to be gone. Okay. I just want to see, just with 1 course history guy, I might break the optimizer, who knows? I don't. Oh, Gary Woodland gets brought back, or gets back. But we have Benny Ann showing up with Tyrrell, which I think might happen a lot in this lineup builds. But anyways, Benny Ann would have been the 1 guy, and then he's 3rd in my model, so that makes sense. We can X him out when we build lineups, but it shows up, or he's kind of showing us the guy to pick. That's how you look at the buckets. Look at the projections. Again, this is available to you on the cheat sheet. And you can go through each of these buckets that way. If you've got questions, reach out to me at SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. Or on Twitter, you can go ahead and DM me there. I will give you as much information as you possibly need. So I'm actually going to look at everything except for recent form buckets. And I'm just going to cruise through these. For those that just want to listen and you want to look at the cheat sheet, I understand, I get it. So when we look at golfers who top 20 this event last year, so those are your last year ones, we want 1 to 3. That's what I'm looking at for building lineups around. So playing last year and getting a top 20 finish, a pretty good stat. Last year 2 is at 20 to 40. 0 to 2 is your projection there. Last year 3 is at 40 to 60. 0 to 2. 60 to 80 for your average finishing position. 0 to 2 as well. This is the bucket that I usually stay away from the most, because 60 to 80 is kind of just a dead range for every stat, every bucket. You never really see many 4s in the optimal lineup. Looking at last year 5s, golfers who missed the cut and or withdrew would be in this bucket. 0 to 2. We have 25 of those. So it's not something to target, but nothing to shy away from. Golfers who did not play this event last year. Now, it says 2 to 4, right? It does say 2 to 4. What you're not going to get on the cheat sheet, and I think I'll just add this going forward, is this miscellaneous information. I add the SweetSpot ranks to these projections. So although I'm looking at strength of field points for these projections, I add SweetSpot score to these projections. And what it gives me is a bit more balanced maximum projection, like a bit more of a conservative max projection. This says 2.77. We always round up. There's the rules I forgot, or that's one of the rules I forgot. We always round up with max projections. We always round down with min projections. So max projection 2.77, that means this goes up to 3, and we always need a 2-point buffer between the max and the min. That drops the min down to 1. However, just to make it way more complicating for you guys to understand, so although this is 3 for my conservative max projection, I don't want to keep my conservative max projection. I just want to determine what my new minimum is. So my new minimum is 1, but my maximum is still 4. 3.43, we round up to 4. So when you look at the optimizer, and we're looking at these last year 6s, you see I have 1 to 4 written into the conditionals. So there you have it. I'm going to cruise through these. All these ranges are the same. They go by 20s. The only things that are different here is salaries and strokes gained, and I'll talk about that when we get there. But we just went through last year's. I also went through course history, basically. So the last one to look at was last week's. The last week bucket. So golfers who played at the Tournament of Champions. How many of you have listened to podcasts that tell you, hey, playing the event before, playing the Century, is indicative of success at the Sony? Not always, right? If we went back to 2023, going back to 2023, your top 10 leaderboard had 0 golfers playing the Tournament of Champions. 0. Now, that's a bit of a sneaky thing to do, because in 2022, you had golfers who played in the Tournament of Champions. In 2021, you had golfers that played in the tournament champions. 2020, you did as well. 2019, you did. 2018, you did. 2017, you did. 2016, you did. 2015, you did as well. So, and if, well, let's see, if I go 2014, sure did. 2013, yes. We had two guys, Kuchar and Leishman, inside the top 10. So, that is also a stat you can actually get behind. Playing the week before. Now, don't get me wrong. I just showed you in 2023, you had 0 golfers play the week before that were in the optimal lineup, as well as in your GPP winning lineup inside the top 10. In fact, last year, like I just showed you, you didn't have any guys inside the top 10 that had played at the tournament champions the week before. That's why I like to leave this to projections. So quite frankly, all that stuff, we still want 1 to 3 golfers who finished inside the top 20 last week. And I shouldn't say we want, it's just that's what I'm projecting to be inside the top 10. And then golfers who finish in that 20 to 40 range, we want 0 to 2. Golfers who finish in that 40 to 60 range, we want 0 to 2. Stay away from golfers in the 60 to 80 range, although we don't have any. Never mind, there's 59 golfers last week. And then golfers who did not play last week, you want to select somewhere between 2, 5. And that still holds up with the conservative projection over there. So 2 to 5. Again, this is all written into the optimizer. So although I'm saying this to you, I know you're like, okay, you're just dishing out all these numbers. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Well, you don't have to know what I'm talking about. I have it all written in to my conditionals when it comes to the optimizer. This is the bucket system right here. These are all the conditionals that I use when building lineups. And just a reminder, we built a GPP winner last week. Okay. When it comes to salaries, we want 0 to 2 10K golfers. So it's not nothing saying you need to play a 10K golfer. Although 30% success rate inside the top 10, that's pretty good. 83% frequency rate. Again, that's looking at each year and just checking to see if at least one 10K golfer finished inside the top 10. 83% is pretty good too. And you have less golfers to really look at. We have 4 this week where we normally see 5. So, oof, it actually might be one of those things to consider as well. But 0 to 2 nonetheless. Same applies for the 9K range, 0 to 2 there. 8K range, 0 to 2 as well. So, although it says 1, remember we want a 2-point buffer. And because this max projection isn't over 2, it just kind of tells us you want 0 to 2. So 0 to 2, 8K golfers. 7K is a little different. You see it says 2 to 4. But again, now the max projection over here has 2.91. We round that up to 3. That makes the new minimum 1. 1 to 4, 7K golfers. And then 0 to 2 of the high 6K and 0 to 2 of the low 6K. Now, I'd only play a max of 2 6K golfers. I would not play more than 2 6K golfers, just a max of 2. And then when we get to strokes gain stats, I do this a bit different. If you want to check what these buckets actually mean, check out the video in the description below that talks about the bucket system. And go to the strokes gain portion. It's a short segment. Check it out there. But you want 0 to 2 strokes gain 1, 0 to 2 strokes gain 2, 1 to 3 strokes gain 3, 1 to 3 strokes gain 4, and then 0 to 2 5, and 0 to 2 6. Now, I like to narrow down these buckets. So what I'll do is I'll go to this year, narrow them down, less than or equal to 25. And this will give me a really small number. Now, the other thing I want to do is filter by condition with max projection over here. I want this to be greater than or equal to 2. Yes, 2. Greater than or equal to 2. And it gives us 3 buckets. These are our anchor buckets. Last year 1, last week 1, and course history 2. So a good finish last week, a good finish last year, and pretty decent course history. That's what we want to look at. So everything that you've ever heard around the industry about this week holds true. So these are our 3 anchor buckets, and we'll talk about golfers in each of these anchor buckets. Did we already do? Oh, we didn't do course history 2s. Okay. So let's start with last year 1s. These are golfers who top 20'd this event last year. You have Corey Connors up top. Chris Kirk, Benny Ann, Siwoo Kim, Matt Kuchar, JJ Spawn, Andrew Putnam, Ben Griffin, Nick Taylor, Taylor Montgomery, Austin Eckroat, and SH Kim to round out your 7K and above range. I don't mind starting here to build lineups. And just a reminder, the projection for top 10 golfers from this bucket, 1 to 3. So that's a projection of golfers finishing inside the top 10. You could also use it as a projection of how many golfers you actually want to anchor your lineups around. So I believe Gabe wants to do Kirk and Adam Hadwin. Well, we got Kirk here. And this bucket says we want at least 1 to 3. So there we go. We got our 1. I don't see Adam Hadwin on here, and that's fine. So we have Kirk there. Who else did he have in his previous? Oh, Eric Cole. Yeah, I don't see Eric Cole up there. But there you go. Chris Kirk is up there. I actually don't have a feel for any of these guys. I don't care. I kind of like Matt Kuchar. A lot of people are giving him crap. Like, there's a lot of, I wouldn't say hate, but just like disdain for Matt Kuchar across the industry. I don't know why. So I don't mind Matt Kuchar from this bucket. When we look at other ones, last week ones, 1 to 3 here as well. These are golfers who top 20'd in the event last week. That was the Century. When we look here, you're going to see some familiar names from the previous bucket we looked at, like Chris Kirk. So Chris Kirk works. 3 of our 10K golfers are here. Don't mind either of these guys. I also don't mind Brian Harmon or even Eric Cole. Eric Cole might be a bit expensive at $9,700, but that's fine by me. JT Poston I really like too at $9,100. Like, you've got a lot of 9K golfers right here. So Tyrrell, Fitzpatrick, Thigala, Harmon, Cole, Kirk, and Poston, all 9K and above. I guarantee you one of these guys is going to finish inside the top 10. And I know that's kind of stupid. And Charlie Harden, what's up, man? You are my first member. Welcome to the red tier. Welcome to the Sweet Spot Society. That's awesome, dude. First member. That's cool. Using the GIFs that come with it. Love that. Okay. 8K range, Benny N, Harris English. There's our Adam Hadwin. So Gabe wanted Cole, Hadwin, and Kirk in a lineup together. They're not playing together, so we could do this. They're actually in 3 of the anchor marquee tee times, so we could actually build that lineup for Gabe, which I think I will do. That looks pretty cool, Shot Like Harden. I'm not gonna lie. That's a pretty solid badge. I wasn't sure how it was gonna show up on YouTube, but I like that. And same with the GIFs. Although they're a little small to see. Old Elvis, what's going on, man? Thigala, good week last week. Yes, Thigala. Yeah, I like that. I think we can build this lineup for Gabe when we get around to it. So last year one, and by the way, that is our max projection is 3. And the last bucket to really look at is course history 2s. So we select everybody, go into clear everything out, course history 2. We've got Harmon, Kirk, Matsuyama, Siwoo Kim, Cam Davis, Denny McCarthy, Alex Noren, Brendan Todd, Matt Kuchar, Svensson, Keith Mitchell, Gary Woodland, and Ben Coles for all the 7K and above golfers. Again, this projection's 1 to 3. So there's enough golfers in this bucket that I think it's easy to say at least 1. But what I like about projections and the buckets is we have what? We have 25 golfers in the bucket. 25. And we only want a max of 3. A max of 3. To me, that helps limit or narrow your lineup builds or your player pools, I should say, to finding just like what 3 to 5 golfers maybe from here to build your lineups around. Interestingly enough, Kisner's down here, Griffin, Lonto Griffin, Snedeker, all cheap plays. I don't mind Kevin Wu. We use, I mean, there's some good 6K golfers to consider down here. So very a lot of options. I kind of like Harmon, but like Chris Kirk now, He's shown up 3 times in the anchor buckets, and he won last week. So it'll be interesting to build lineups for Gabe when we get there, which obviously is going to be right now because we are done with the anchor buckets. So now we all get to hang out. That's the rest of the information that I really cared to provide, that I needed to provide. So now that we have kind of a blueprint, we can go ahead and start building some lineups using the optimizer, which again, Charlie Harden, did you see this? Ryan won a GPP. Big R Colts fan in the chat won a GPP using one of the lineups we built on stream last week. It was the very first build that we had, the very first lineup build, took down a GPP. And if you go to it, like if you go to the my Twitter page and you watch the video, actually, can I play it? So, starting with Homa and Benny Ann, we get Scheffler, Sung J M, Sahith Theegala, and Chris Kirk to join them. That is a level of grossness that I guess I could be okay with. I think Chris Kirk is the only thing I don't like about this lineup. All right. Oh my God, just eating my words. Chris Kirk is the only one I don't like. Oh man. All right. It is what it is. Hey, Ryan won a GPP because of that. That's awesome, right? Didn't Kuchar stiff his caddy to something? Yes, he did. Kuchar did. That was the Mayakoba Golf Classic a while ago. So he sure did. Okay. Peter Gressick, what's going on? New subscriber, love that. Happy to find the channel. Awesome, dude. Love that. Welcome in. By the way, for those that are new, obviously, Peter, you remind me of this. I'm going to start doing database streams Thursday, and if you didn't already know this, one of my goals from 2 years ago, by the way, which I've been slacking on, was to build a database to put into a website and have a website up and running for all of you that utilizes the bucket system, that utilizes everything with the SweetSpot process, the way that I look at data, the way that I perceive golf and fantasy golf. We were really close. I made some pretty good strides last Thursday. If you hadn't seen the video, check it out. I mean, it's a hangout. Like, this is going to be a hangout for us from here going forward. If you want to chat with me in the chat, leave your messages and I will read them. But primarily, I like to just build lineups for people. You give me 2 golfers and I will build lineups. Give me 2 to 4 golfers and I'll build lineups around them using the SweetSpot process, which, I mean, however you want to look at it. We look at the bucket system every single week. The bucket system is like 93% overall, like successful. And that just helps us basically narrow down our player pools because it gives us projections of how many golfers we want from each bucket. And the optimizer here selects throughout those buckets the best golfers, together and puts them together. And of course, we have our salaries, like right there, you see over my head. Those are all part of it. I've got marquee tee times in here. That's why you have like the group numbers over here just for some golfers. These are your marquee tee time golfers. That's all written in here as well in this section. And then I don't like to do more than 5 golfers from one wave. So I will make sure to limit that when I build lineups and go from there. Marquee tee times are about 95% successful. Like when we go through that every single week, you see that happen. And that's probably the more impressive one. It's like 2 to 4 golfers from the marquee tee times end up in the optimal lineup and like a 95% clip. And they don't play together. That's the other fun, like, little tidbit there. They don't play together. And so that's what I also have written in here. You can see I don't want more than 1 golfer from each of the groups, but I want to select somewhere between 2 to 4. Little bit of a data nerd here, and I'm definitely a golf nerd for sure. So with that being said, Gabe You know what, Gabe? I'm gonna do two lineups for you. You wanted Cole in your lineup before, so I'm gonna pin that message up top. And then you want one without Cole. You want Adam Hadwin and Chris Kirk. So we're gonna do this first. We're gonna build like 5 lineups, 6 lineups, 7 lineups. The rest of you, go ahead, start adding to the queue. Give me 2 to 4 golfers who want me to build lineups around, and I will start doing that. So what we need to do is find Hadwin. There he is. Go yes. Eric Cole, which was nearby, right? $9,700 Eric Cole, and then Chris Kirk. Going 2 9Ks and an 8K. We build our first lineup. Were the tee times wrong last week? Okay, so the same thing for this week. Now, the PGA Tour, if you go and copy their tee times, which I do, you can either get it in your time zone or you can get it in their time zone. And it just defaults to your own time zone. I forget to change it to their time zone. So like you see 11:45, this is when they teed off for us. And then, you know, to like 3 o'clock or whatever. If you think these tee times are wrong, you let me know. I don't think they are. I mean, I was watching it and Homa was playing with Aubert and Fowler. Morikawa was playing with Schauffele and Kim. Spieth was playing with Scheffler and Hovland. Cantlay was playing with Finau and Fleetwood. So I know those guys were, I know my tee times were correct. So the tee times might have been wrong, but they were correct. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to tweet out that I was live. God, I'm terrible with social media. If you didn't already know that, I don't necessarily like looking at social media, so I don't do it. All right, so I'm gonna do this. Don't mind me. I know this is riveting stuff as I type away and not talk. My apologies. Okay. My apologies. Yes, giveaway winner Chad Eckert. Let's go back to here. Oh, I don't know why that disappeared. Anyways, it's a pretty good lineup. That first one: Eric Cole, Chris Kirk, Adam Hadwin, Lucas Glover, Ben Griffin, and Justin Suh. It's not terrible, right? I like it. We'll save it. I'm also going to copy. So if you're using this optimizer, which I can send to you if you're a subscriber, and you're commenting here and emailing me at SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. I know a few steps in there. I will email this out to you. Or we can just build lineups here and you can copy your favorite one. Doesn't matter to me, and put it in whatever contest you want to. But I'm going to put my exposures to 100% because as I stream, I don't want to have to play around with... I just don't want to do the dance of the optimizer not selecting a golfer because he's over-owned. So we'll save that lineup. And run it again. Suh will get kicked out. Let's see what the next one is. Eric Cole, Chris Kirk, Adam Hadwin, Matt Coot. Dude, I love this lineup a lot. That's a really good lineup. So when I save lineups, they get saved to another tab. What I like to do is just highlight them a color. You know, if I like them, I usually highlight them green. So we'll keep that one green. I like that one a lot. Let's see here. Peter, if you're still in the chat, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the optimizer. Let me know if that works for you. If you want access to the cheat sheet, you can find a link in the description below. Just click on that and you can follow along with me throughout all of this. But I will send you the optimizer. So it has been sent. Lineup number 3 for you, Gabe. We have Eric Cole, Chris Kirk, Adam Hadwin, Matt Kuchar, Lucas Glover, and KH Lee. I don't mind that. Shot like Harden, are we on the Korean Cowboy this week? Eric Cole, Chris Kirk, Cam Davis, Adam Hadwin, Matt Kuchar, Nate Lashley. Nasty Nate. I like that one too. Shot like Harden says, are you going to open packs you won last week for Rainmakers or saving them? I should have saved mine. I opened mine. I had a what's the word I'm looking for? I had Thoughts of Grandeur. I won 1 rare pack for 2024, and I thought to myself, it's Scotty Scheffler. I know it is. I'm opening it. I just want to see it right away. And then it wasn't. In fact, it was David Lingmerth. David Lingmerth of all people. Who actually rates out really well in the 6K range for me in this field. Okay. Next lineup. Cole, Kirk, Hadwin, Kuchar, Glover, Davis Thompson. Yeah, I like that one too. So we're getting kind of a core of like 4 golfers. We're getting Kuchar added into the mix, and we also actually 5 golfers. Lucas Glover is getting added to the mix. So usually when this happens, what I'd like to do is kick out a golfer I don't like, say Lucas Glover. Don't really care for Glover. Think it's actually a pretty decent spot for him. But I'd like to see lineups without Glover in it, so we'll take a look. Yeah. I know Shally Carden. It's gross. Always on the Korean Cowboy, but won't be heavy. Okay. Cole, Kirk, Rose, Hadwin, Kuchar, Neesmith. I like it. I'm not sure if I like Neesmith. What I'm going to do is probably, let's see if we can run this again and get someone other than Neesmith. Not the same guys, but Pendrith and Putnam. Yeah, I like that lineup too. So I think there's actually a pretty decent, that's a pretty decent core going with Cole, Kirk, Hadwin. We're getting a lot of really good lineups. I think these are really good cash game lineups, or if you wanted to enter these into contests where, you know, you had 100 or less people you're playing against, I think these are perfect lineups for those. Charlie Hoffman. Now, so this I actually would throw in the GPP category, because how many people are playing Charlie Hoffman? I like that. I might build more than just 7. This is pretty good. Cole, Kirk, Yeager, Hadwin, Grillo, Taylor Montgomery. Yeah, so I don't like Taylor Montgomery. I think that's pretty well documented. I shouldn't say I don't like him as a person. I don't like his golf swing. It's gross. It's disgusting. I don't like it whatsoever. These are some good lineups. Cole, Kirk, McCarthy, Hadwin, Kuchar, and Joel Damon. Man, I don't like it, but I like it. I like it because I don't like it. Yeah, this is a good core. What's going on, Byron? Back 9 Bets. If you don't know of his channel, you should go check it out. Puts out a lot of great content. He's getting invited to a lot of awesome shows, getting good guests and stuff like that. Byron, I will tell you right now, I will not be going 4 hours tonight. Ain't happening, pal. I know last or Sunday night I was egging him on to do a longer stream, and he sure did. Byron went 3 hours and 59 minutes. Because I told him my longest stream was 3 hours and 58 minutes. So he had to one-up me. Oh, and then Charlie Carden, yeah, that's fine. You're not gonna egg me into 4 hours. Ain't happening. Maybe 4 hours for the Masters. Maybe 4 hours for the US Open. Maybe 4 hours for even the Players Championship. But we ain't doing 4 hours for the Sony. Ain't gonna do it. Ain't gonna happen. I don't really like the one with Ches Reavie in there. I'm not a huge Ches Reavie fan. Ben Taylor, dude, his rankings, his sweet spot ranks are still so high from like his first 3 events he played last year. He's been miserable, terrible since. But Ben Martin I can get behind. Sign me up. Cole, Kirk, Davis, Hadwin, Kuchar, Ben Martin. Yep. Yeah, it's still not gonna work for me there, Byron. You try your best, just not gonna work. Okay, so let's take Cole out of there because that's what Gabe's modified lineup was. And if we get a lot of the same guys, we'll just continue to hit run optimizer. I won't save any of them, but it will be interesting to see what shakes out. Kirk, Benny Ann, Adam Hadwin, Alex Noren, Matt Kuchar, Lucas Glover. Sure, I'm gonna save that. I'll do 2 more lineups with Lucas Glover in it, and then I'm gonna kick Lucas Glover out. Oh man, that stinks. Wi-Fi less? Is that because the Wi-Fi is out, or did you hit your capacity for the rest of the month? It's only the 9th of the month, dude. Cole, Kirk, Hadwin, Glover, Griffin, Justin Suh. That was a lineup we just saw, so it's kind of funny that it was built. That was the first lineup from the last one. The Gala, Chris Kirk, Adam Hadwin, Kuchar, Glover, Eckroat. Okay, so I've already seen 2 good golfers in here with Glover. I don't want that much Glover. Chris Kirk showed up in so many of my lineups. Like the optimizer loved Chris Kirk last week. It appears to love Lucas Glover this week. I don't know what that means, but I don't like it. That's what I'm thinking, Charlie Carden. Not only did he do a 4-hour stream Sunday, but like yesterday he was in a couple, I think he was in a couple streams, and then he was also in a stream just prior to this one. Guy's nuts, man. Going nuts. He's looking to burn out by the players, I think. That, or he's gonna be the Sungjae Im of PGA DFS podcasts. That's what he's gonna be. He's gonna be the Sungjae Im. He's gonna play every single event, make every single cut, just work himself to the bone. Ooh, all right. So we kick out Glover. And we get Chris Kirk, Will Zalatoris, Justin Rose, Adam Hadwin, Matt Kuchar, and Nick Taylor. Yeah, sign me up with that lineup. That lineup, I'm liking a lot. Like, I like Kuchar this week. I don't care what a lot of the industry titans or giants, whatever you want to call them, whatever they've been saying about Matt Kuchar and how old he is and whatever. It's a perfect golf course for Kuchar. Why wouldn't I? Kirk, Zalatoris, McCarthy, Hadwin, Ben Griffin, Justin Suh. I like that one. That's 2 lineups now with Ben Griffin and Justin Suh in them. I don't know how I feel about that, but Eric Cole. There we go. We got a Cole back here. Chris Kirk, Rose, Hadwin, Woodland, and KH Lee. Did we already have that lineup? KH Lee, Glover. Okay, so we did have a Woodland lineup in there, I believe, somewhere. Doesn't really matter. I think so too. Charlie Carden. I think so too. Eric Cole, Chris Kirk, Cam Davis, Hadwin, Kuchar, Lashley. Did we not have this lineup also? Where's our Lashley lineup? Eric Cole, Kirk, Davis, Hadwin, Kuchar, Lashley. That's exactly the same. I think what we do is we bring back some of these guys that had the Cole lineup, and we kick out Cole. So I mean, like, the lineups we've already built, Gabe, are bringing in Eric Cole naturally, so it kind of goes with, so the lineups we built with Cole, I think you just go ahead with those. I think they're great lineups. Chris Kirk, Will Zalatoris, Denny McCarthy, Adam Hadwin, Ben Griffin, Justin Suh. So that's without Eric Cole. And instead we have Zalatoris and Denny McCarthy. Keep going to that one. I don't know why. Interesting. So this is the other one with Griffin and Suh. So we don't have Eric Cole or Lucas Glover. Instead, we've got Denny McCarthy and Will Zalatoris. Okay, so there's our core four, apparently, for Gabe. Oh, this is a duplicate. Oh, I just saved it. That's why. What a dunce. I already saved it. Okay. Moving on. Sith Thigala. I keep thinking of Thigala from the Century, where his dad and family were there cheering him on. Also the Fortinet when he won that. But we have Thigala, Kirk, Hadwin, Kuchar, List, and Montgomery. What a nut! Like, this seems super volatile. Love it. It's the level of grossness that I'm okay with. It's going to be the new saying for me. It's a level of grossness I'm okay with. Much like this. Thigala, Kirk, Rose, Hadwin, Kuchar, you. Yep. Lovely lineup. We're seeing a lot of Thigala. Now we bring in Gary Woodland, which is fine. I don't know if I really care all that much. So we'll move on. Corey Connors gets at it. Ooh, look at this lineup. Connors, Kirk, Hadwin, Kuchar, Mitchell, Emiliano Grillo. That's pretty solid. It's very good. It's a very good cash game. I'm gonna make that one yellow. Kirk, Zalatoris, Rose, Hadwin, Kuchar, Thompson. I feel like we saved that one already. Let's save it and see the duplicate. Oh, we did not. Okay, I like it. A good one. I'll build two more lineups and then I'll get to your Shelly Carden with Connors and Sahith. Wow. Kirk, Zalatoris, Rose, Hadwin, Kuchar, and Nick Hardy. Nick Hardy will be a GPP play for sure. Not a popular one, but I think a pretty solid one. Kirk, Zalatoris, Rose, Hadwin, Kuchar, Shamo. Sheamus didn't play super bad last week for having a bad hip. Or coming back from a hip injury. I'm not going to save it, but it's not terrible. Thigala, Kirk, Rose, Hadwin, Kuchar, Yuan. Yeah, that's okay too. Sure. Okay, so there's the 20 lineups we have for Gabe. Let's go ahead and build somewhere between 5 to 10 lineups for Shelly Carden. For those that are in the chat, if you want to see some lineups built, give me 2 to 4 golfers you'd like lineups built around, and we'll let the optimizer do its work and select 4 or less golfers, depending on how many you give me, to build lineups around. So we want Connors at $9,800 and Thigala at 10. 10 flat. Theegala, Connors, Kuchar, Svensson, Justin Suh, Nick Taylor. How do we feel about this lineup? That's a 10-9 and 4 sevens. We did see that in an optimal lineup before, so it's not terrible. But how do you feel about that? Charlie Carden. I don't mind it. I think it's okay. Theegala, Connors, Brendan Todd, Matt Kuchar, Grillo, and Woodland. Kind of like that one too. Theegala, Connors, Kuchar, Putnam, Suh, and Grillo. I don't know, dude. Like, as I'm building these, I'm seeing a lot of 7K golfers, and I don't know if I want to make sure I pick a 6K golfer in this. I mean, it's up to you. Let me know. Building these lineups. I don't love this one. I feel like I gotta save all the lineups I don't like, because that just lets us know that, or not lets us know, but it just reminds us of Ryan's lineup that I didn't like. This one's pretty decent. Theegala, Connors, Bradley, Svensson, Suh, and Cage Lee. Korean Cowboy, baby. Theegala, Connors, Bradley, Svensson, Suh, Mark Hubbard. That one's pretty solid. I don't mind that one. Lots of Bradley coming in. 7K range is my favorite range. It's stacked. Going to be a lot of ownership there, though. Okay. Let me know if you're seeing some golfers you'd like me to pivot away from, or maybe even play more of. Let me know either way. Theegala, Connors, McCarthy, Kuchar, Suh, and Brendan Wu. I like this lineup. 10-9-8, 7-7-6. Pretty spaced out. Do you like Kuchar as much as he's showing up? Lots of Kuchar. I like this one because it gives me a good 6K golfer that is pretty good, like pretty solid. Theegala, Connors, McCarthy, Kuchar, Svensson, Stevens. Sam Stevens. $6,300. That's crazy. He was like a very popular high 6K, low 7K golfer at the end of last year. 63 in this field seems kind of criminal. I just don't see myself playing this much Svensson. That's a lot of Svensson that's been saved. This will be the 4th lineup out of 7 that has Svensson in it. Do you like Adam Svensson that much? Okay, I'll save it. I'm gonna actually make these 2 orange. Actually, I like them both. Not these 2. I'm gonna make, like, I think I would much rather want to choose between, let's say, this one and this one. Actually, no. I'm gonna go with this one. So I think when it comes down to it, I'm going to want to look at those 2 and do like a sub. Like, one of them I'll save, the other one I'm not going to. They're too close together. To me, they have like kind of the same upside. I just don't know how I feel about those. Sith Theegala, Corey Connors, Bradley, Svensson, Suh, Lashley. Okay, so now I'm seeing too much Svensson. How do you feel about Svensson, Charlie Carden? That's pretty good, Ryan. You also took down the dime time with it. Charlie Cardin, I'm going to make an executive decision. I'll let you still respond to me, but I'm going to kick out Svensson. Theegala Connors, McCarthy Bradley, Kevin Yu. That's a lineup I can get behind. I like that lineup a lot. Theegala Connors, Kuchar, Heath Mitchell, Andrew Putnam, Justin Suh. I actually don't mind that one either. Theegala Connors, Kim, Kuchar, Suh, Harry Hall. I don't know about Harry Hall. He's like, it's an interesting selection, but Theegala Connors, McCarthy, Kuchar, Suh, Dylan Wu. Yeah. Is that the same one that I was just looking at? This one right here? Theegala Connors, McCarthy, Bradley? It is. Instead, we're switching out Wu. We had Kevin Yu. we're subbing out U for Wu. That's what we're doing. We're subbing out the Y for the W. Yeah, I don't mind that. Theegala, Connors, McCarthy, Bradley, Kuchar, and Tyson Alexander, which Byron from Back Nine Bets, he opened that card up on stream. That was sad tears. That was that was good for a sad trombone. Same with me with what's his name? I already forgot. David Lingmerth. Yeah. Theegala, Connors, McCarthy, Brad. Okay, so that's a lot of. Do you like the foursome of Theegala, Connors, McCarthy, and Bradley? Because they're showing up a ton. I actually like this lineup because if you were going with the core four like that, having JJ Spawn and Zach Blair, not terrible. Honestly, not terrible at all. So that's one more than I cared to do. I just want to see what one more looks like from here. Yeah, Keegan Bradley, Kuchar, Suh, Davis Thompson. That's a good lineup too. Man, that is a good lineup. Here's a new one. Theegala, Connors, Kuchar, Aaron Rye, Andrew Putnam, Justin Suh. Byron goes, I was robbed on live on the internet. Yeah, if that's what you want to call it. Oh, here's a new one. I like this. Theegala, Connors, Bradley, Todd, Suh, Michael Kim. Yeah, that works for me. And if you can add Matty Schmidt to the party, I'm all for it. Okay. Shot Cardin, that's a lot of lineups I built. I can come back and revisit this. I'm going to go ahead and move on to Ryan, who says Svensson and Harmon. So he wants Svensson. Svensson's showing up a ton. Maybe that's the guy that we go with. Ryan with Svensson in your article, the article that you shared with me while taking down the Minimax. Harmon Benny-Ann, which helped you win the Minimax last week. Adam Hadwin, Matt Kuchar, Svensson, Justin Suh, leaving $500 on the table. Ranked second in your model? Okay. How do we like this? Are there golfers in here we don't want to play? Are you gonna follow like Tambo and those that don't like Kuchar, or whoever it was that didn't like Kuchar? I don't mind this lineup. I mean, I'll eat as much Kuchar chalk or whatever there is. I think Kuchar's a really good play at this event. Tyrrell Hatton, Brian Harman, Matt Kuchar, Svensson, Lucas Glover, and Brandon Wu. Interesting. Don't mind it. Like, I don't hate it. I'm always going to be the type of person that hates putting two salaries together, but that's exactly what we did for Ryan's lineup last week. We had two $6,900 golfers or $6,800 golfers. So Kick Hadwin. Okay. I like this outside of Glover. I don't know. You tell me. What do you like? Do you like this lineup? I can save it if you want me to. How do we feel about this one, Ryan? Okay. We shall save it and see what happens with the next one. Of course. Of course. So Dylan Wu now shows up. All right. So this is, I mean, hey, these are all okay lineups. Like, if we wanted to add this, it's like you want, if you're going to take down a GPP, you'd want to get pretty strict with like a core 4 and then let two golfers kind of be interchangeable. Okay, actually, I'm going to save this one with Dylan Wu. If like, for me, if Lucas Glover shows up again in this core 5, or with the core 4 like that, I don't want that. But again, if you're building GPPs, this would be your cascading method, basically. This would just be a natural cascading thing. So like, we just cycled through 4 6K golfers. That would be your, like, your cascade with, because you build one lineup and then you cascade twice. Usually selecting a 6K golf. Well, it'd be 2 6K golfers to be in the place of Brandon Wu from that previous lineup. So I don't mind it. I'm going to run one more. If I see Glover in it, I'm kicking him out. And we're kicking him out. And I'm bringing back the other guys. So you didn't like Lashley. We'll kick him out. We'll bring back Dylan Wu. We'll bring back David Lipsky and Hayden Buckley. And I'm going to kick out Lucas Glover. You can override me. If you want Glover in your lineups, I'll bring him back. I just want to see something a little bit different like this. Brian Harman, Benny Ann, Steven Yeager, Akshay Bhatia, Matt Kuchar, Svensson. That's pretty solid. Harman, Benny Ann, Steven Yeager, Matt Kuchar, Svensson, and Luke List. There we go. That's another new one. We like that one. Harman, Benny Ann, Harris English, Matt Kuchar, Svensson, Taylor Pendrith. I like Pendrith. I'm a bit skeptical about that. I want, yeah, you know what, I'll save it. I'll just say I want to like it because I do like Pendrith. I also really don't like Pendrith's swing. Hatton, Harman, Svensson, Spawn, Grillo, Taylor Montgomery. That's a level of grossness I don't like. Like, I don't like Taylor Montgomery. And I don't care for JJ Spawn. I do like this though. Like, I like Hatton, Harman. That's probably it. Hatton, Harmon, Kuchar, Svensson, Vincent Norman. So you've got the Viking, and then you also have the Korean Cowboy. I like it. Harmon, Zalatoris, Benyan, Kuchar, Svensson, Dylan Wu. Yeah, sign me up for that one. I like that one. You want to kick JJ Spawn? JJ's kicked. Hatton, Harmon, Kuchar, Svensson, Montgomery, Davis Thompson. Yeah, I could save that one. That's fine. Hatton, Harmon, Svensson, Grillo, Taylor Montgomery, and Gary Woodland. Not terrible. I'm not going to save it. I don't know about... I don't mind playing Woodland, but I don't want him. Here we go. Here's a new one. Thigala, Harmon, Yeager, Svensson, Taylor. Nick Taylor, Taylor Montgomery. That's pretty solid. I don't mind that one. Again, I'm not a huge fan of Taylor Montgomery, but it is what it is. Seems like a good value at $7,100. There we go. Garrick Higo. We get Harmon, JT Poston, Benny Ann, Kuchar, Svensson, and Garrick Higo. Sure. Sign me up. If anyone else wants a lineup built, give me 2 to 4 golfers, and I will build lineups around them. Because this is the... I don't think there's any other lineups in the queue. I think it's the last one in the queue. I can continue building lineups, but... I'm gonna allow other people to get in there. Harmon, Zalatoris, McCarthy, Svensson, Ben, Griffin, Nick Taylor. I like it. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite ones. Like, there's enough volatility in there to be a good GPP play. I don't know what ownership will look like. I also don't really care. That seems like... You know what? I'm going to change that from a GPP lineup. So I'm going to mark this yellow because I think it's a really good cash game. Another good cash game. Thigala, Harmon, Kuchar, Svensson, Norman, and Taylor Montgomery. That's just a lot. I don't know if I can save any more lineups, but that's a pretty good lineup. Thigala, Harmon, Kuchar, Svensson, Rye, Taylor Montgomery. Okay. I can get behind that one. All right. So of people who've already seen lineups, if you want me to build different lineups for you, let me know. Give me 2 to 4 golfers. I think I'm going to start just tinkering now with lineups that I'm considering. Harmon, Cole, Kuchar, Svensson, Van Rooyen, and Taylor Montgomery. Different. Don't mind it. I don't think I'm going to save it, though. Okay. We're going to kick all of those out. So, for me, I think, like, Tyrrell Hatton might be my favorite play. I think it's just, like, the best course for him. Not so much the best course. I think he's one of the better course fits here. I think I cannot not play Ludwig. Let's see what, like, the best Ludwig lineups are. Ludwig, Benny Ann, Brendan Todd, Matt Kuchar, Lucas Glover, Justin Suh. So we're going to just find a bunch of Glover lineups, I'm guessing, and Kuchar. Yep. Okay. How about this? Well, let me build a couple other ones that I might like. I guess I'll save this one. So the optimizer loves Benny Ann, McCarthy, Kuchar, and Glover. Those are names, and Woodland, by the way. Woodland keeps popping up. Kuchar, Svensson, Glover, Keith Mitchell. This is like a community lineup, basically, with Aubert. Oh yeah, by the way, for those that, I mean, I was just listening to, what, the Pat Mayo Hour with Tambo on there. And he seemed flustered. What do we call Ludwig? I like him calling him LA. I think LA is a really good nickname. What's beautiful about this website, there's this bio button. You click there and you go down to pronunciation. Oh, bear. There you go. Easy. Ludwig, Benny Ann, Matt Kuchar, Svensson, Glover, and JJ Spawn. See, I seriously, I cannot stand doing two $7,700 golfers like together, side by side. Here, we finally changed it up a little bit. I don't mind it. Okay. So when I start building these lineups again, I'm going to go to Shot Like Harden's lineups. But when I start building these lineups again, I am probably going to do a Glover kick and a Svensson kick. Just get them out here. Benny Ann and Hatton. Alrighty. I'm sure you'll see a lot of the same lineups we were just looking at. So you'll have to let me know who to kick, who to keep, that kind of stuff. Sure, we're going to see Glover. There he is. And Kuchar, and McCarthy, and Benny Ann. Like, we've already seen this lineup. Hatton, Benny Ann, Kuchar, Glover, Keith Mitchell, Justin Suh. Well, we got your guy Justin Suh in there. That's not terrible, I guess. Looks like you're going to get a lot of McCarthy and Glover. Is that something you're okay with? Would you like me to kick someone else out? Shally Carden. Kick Kuchar and Glover. Love it. Okay, so we'll bring back Justin Suh and Keith Mitchell. Glover will get booted. So too will Kuchar. Hatton, Benny Ann, McCarthy, Svensson, Mitchell, and Suh. Did we just save that one? We did not, because we didn't have Svensson. Mitchell's getting the boot. We get Hatton, Thigala, so two 10K golfers. Benny Ann, two 7K golfers and a 6K golfer. I like that. Harry Hall, I don't know, but I like this build. Ooh, kick Svensson and D-Mac. All right, all right, all right. Let's just run this again. I don't care for Harry Hall, but it's a good lineup build. Yeah. I can't do Harry Hall. I know my optimizer's biased based off of like, again, his yearly results. So like, I would imagine Harry Hall in my rankings is going to fall off in a month, because I think last year during this tournament and a couple other tournaments afterwards, he did really, really well, and it just kept his ranking so high, but he stayed in the 6K range, and the optimizer just loves that. We get a new build here. Tyrrell Hatton, Benny Ann, Keegan Bradley, Alex Noren, Brendan Todd, and KH Lee. Again, I think it's a good lineup. I don't like the set. Dude, it's such a stupid thing that I don't like. I just don't want those two together. You know what? We'll save it. Whatever. We'll save it. Hatton, Kirk, Benny Ann, Putnam, Suh, Brandon Wu. Kind of like that. I like it a lot. Hatton, Benny Ann, Keegan Bradley, Alex Noren, Brennan Todd, Davis Thompson. Yeah, I don't know about that one. We're getting some good lineups, eh? Hatton, Poston, Benny Ann, Keegan Bradley, Justin Suh, Kevin Yu. I like that one. That's a good GPP winning lineup. Hatton, Brian Harmon, Benny Ann, Putnam, Suh, and Zach Blair. Yeah, sign me up. I like Zach Blair. I got no issue playing Zach Blair. And here we go. We're going to go with those core 5. This one has Karl Yuan in it, but you got the other 5 that we just said. Ooh, we did one little substitution here. I don't remember who the last guy was, but we have Kirk and Dylan Wu to go with the other 4. Hatton, Benny Ann, Putnam, and Justin Suh. Your boy Justin Suh showing up a ton. So I don't know if you already looked at the whole sweet spot process and figured it out, but you're getting your boy Suh to show up a ton. We already saved this one, I'm pretty sure. Hatton, Kirk, Benny Ann. Oh, no, we didn't, because we didn't have Tom Hoagie in there. Justin Suh, Nate Lashley. Sure. Hatton, Cole, Benny Ann, Putnam, Suh, and Joseph Bramlett. Yeah, I would take a shot on Joseph Bramlett. Got no issue with that. It's a good lineup. It's a really good lineup. Hatton, Benny Ann, Keegan Bradley, Alex Noren. Okay, so Noren and Todd just keep showing up like a ton. Who do you want me to kick any one of those guys out? Like Noren or Todd? One of the two? Suh is Jeff Ulrich sleeper. It was Ben Ann last week. Okay. Wouldn't that be cool if you could just grab one piece from like different people around the industry? Like, say, Ulrich gives you 4 sleepers, and he always hits one of them, and the sleepers are actually sleepers. So that would be like one little bubble that you'd pick players from. That'd be a bucket, I would say, you'd pick players from. And then say you got like one guy from Ship It Nation or whatever. You know, they give out six dudes or whatever. So you got one bucket there that you want to select one guy in. And then it's like you'll always have 2 golfers out of those 10 that you could choose from, or whatever it ends up being. You could build enough lineups and still, you know, not spend a ton of money where you could have all your bases covered. Interesting concept to think about. Kick Todd, I have enough of him. Okay, cool. I agree. You don't want that nerd rage out on the golf course? God, that was such a stupid thing that he did. All right, so we got Hatton, Benny Ann, Keegan Bradley, Alex Noren, Andrew Putnam, and Justin Suh. I like that lineup. 10 and 2 8s. We saw that in the optimal lineup before. Ooh, Siwoo Kim and Andrew Rye. Okay, super interesting. I'll build you a couple more, and then we're gonna go on to Ryan's duo that he had. Trio, actually. I like that trio, by the way. Hatton, Benny Ann, Cam Davis, JJ Spawn. Okay, so this to me is a GPP winning lineup. I don't know about leaving $500 on the table, but who cares? Kind of like Tambo's tidbits on football, where he summarizes the industry takes. Yeah. Like the one thing I don't think, well, first of all, I should say there's a couple groups out there that may not get enough recognition, and that I know maybe I came across a couple times. I know some people keep track of other people's picks or their touts. Like obviously you had I forget what it was called, but the toutometer basically, where like so many of your industry leaders are talking about X, Y, and Z golfer, and it would give it like a ranking system basically, and you could always depend, like that would be your highest owned golfers or whatever it was. But the one thing I don't think a lot of people do is keep track of people's picks that just either succeed or fail. Like it is such a goldfish mentality when it comes to this stuff. It's surprising that I'll get people that'll come into this stream that will talk strokes gained stats, and they'll go, oh, I never knew that before. And then later on come into my stream and say, that's not right. It's like, I told you this like a month ago or 2 months ago. This is how you calculate strokes gained data. And they're like, oh, I didn't know that before. It's like, dude, no, you were here you were here before when I was talking about it. It's just, there's such a goldfish mentality, and maybe that's just how we are as a society. Just forget things like super quick. Anyways, Hatton, Benny Ann, Siwoo Kim, Putnam, Pendrith. Yeah, sign me up. That's a good lineup. All right. Well, I'm curious. One more. Hubbard. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't want to leave $500 on the table. Billy Horschel. Oh, Billy. Hoagie Sell Horschel. I don't know, man. I just saved it on accident. That was not supposed to be a saved lineup, but here we are. Okay, yeah. I don't mind going back to Smalley. Okay, so we're done. That's all the lineups for you, Mr. Shot. Well, for those combos. We'll see if I want to do more lineups here. Well, actually, no. This will be the last one. Hatton, Davis, and Suh. Hatton, Cammy Boy Davis, Justin, Suh, dude. Okay, this is perfect. So Hatton, Davis, Rose, Kuchar, Glover, Suh. Who do you want kicked out? Because Suh's the low guy. Ryan, who would you like kicked out between Glover, Kuchar, and Rose? My choice is Glover for obvious reasons, but you let me know. But you're going to have to let me know because I can't move on without making executive decisions. Yeah, me too. Glover was my choice as well. And we replace him with Svensson, which I don't mind at all, but you're going to also have to let me know who you'd like kicked out from this. I really like this lineup. Was Svensson one of your other lineups? Was he another guy that you picked before? Yeah, Svensson and Harmon. Jeez. Sheesh. Kuchar's getting the boot. By the way, I am saving 4 more lineups for obvious reasons, and then we're calling it a stream. So I will build more lineups. I'm just only going to save 4 more. Hatton, Kirk, Davis, Suh, Nick Taylor, Taylor Montgomery. I like it. I already have a Taylor Montgomery trio that I've already saved. Well, you know what? That's actually a good reason to save it, because then you'll get more, it's like a core. Taylor Montgomery, huh? I say Taylor, like Nick Taylor, and then Taylor Montgomery. Okay, no, I don't. I've got Taylor Montgomery down here. Of course I got Taylor Montgomery. I got Nick Taylor, Taylor Montgomery. Maybe that's how we just play it, because then we just say Taylor and then Montgomery, and we got one guy. Okay, so I just have one duo. That's okay. So sure, we'll save this one. Here's a bit more of a balanced build. Hatton, Davis, McCarthy, Svensson, Ben Griffin, Justin Suh. Who would you like kicked out of this one? Kick Griffin. They got Harman at same odds as Aubert to win. Yeah, Harman, though, I actually think should be the highest priced guy in this field. Like, he should be in the 10K range, honestly. I don't know. I mean, he's $9,900. I think Aubert being at the top, like, when it comes to when it comes to talent, yeah, I'll take Aubert over Harman, but I would like to see so I don't like how he played last week, Aubert that is, and this is an event where you know, you don't have to have course history. We went over that with the buckets. You don't have to have course history, but it would definitely benefit you. And being 10-5, I want my 10K golfers, or close to 10K golfers, all pointing in the direction that's like, this is a good course fit. This is, you know, you should play this guy at this course. Like Hatton and Fitzpatrick are my two favorite 10K golfers in the field for this golf course. Any other golf course, I'm probably picking Aubert. Like if this was Tournament of Champions and I had to pick between Aubert, Hatton, and Fitzpatrick, I understand Hatton did better than the other two, but I'd be picking Aubert. Hatton, Benny Ann, Cam Davis, Keith Mitchell, Putnam, Suh. You want Mitchell kicked already? I'm not saving this one. I didn't like it. Hatton, C. Woo, Kim, Cam Davis, Brendan Todd, Justin Suh, Taylor Montgomery. Yeah, I'll save that one because that one is different than any of the other lineups we built. Who would you like kicked out of this one? Todd, Siwoo, or Taylor Montgomery? Alrighty, we'll kick Montgomery. Here we go. Tyrrell Hatton, JT Poston, Cam Davis, Svensson, Suh, Eckroat. That I'm glad to see. I wanted to see one Eckroat lineup at least. We love that. Eckroat's getting the kick. You can bring him back if you want Poston or Svenny to be kicked, but I like that. Or wait, do we have Svenny? No, we don't. Hatton, Cam Davis, Denny McCarthy, Svensson Spawn, and Justin Suh. Do you like this lineup? Out of curiosity. 2 8s and 3 7s. I don't mind it. I'll wait for you to tell me what you'd like. I kind of want to go back and see some of the other pass optimals, or just 8. I just want to look at all the 8s. 8, 9, 8. Ton of 7s. Big spawn, but nice. Okay. Spawn is already getting the boot. Hatton, Poston, Cam Davis, Justin Rose, Justin Suh, and Lashley. I like that outside of Lashley, so I'm gonna run it again. Really like that 5. I kind of want to see Rose. Like I actually really like that lineup a lot. This is also a pretty good lineup. Hatton, Thigala, Davis, Putnam, Suh, you. I like that lineup. I want to run a couple more. We're at the limit of saved lineups that I want to see, but those are good. I don't. Oh my god. I have it in my head that we're always gonna build the GPP winner, and this lineup here I don't like because of Gary Woodland. But then I remember last week what I had told Ryan was, I like this is a level of grossness I like, but I don't like this golfer, and this one is Gary Woodland. Oh, I like it, but I don't want to save it. All right, we're saving it. We'll be professional. I don't care for this one. Hatton, Davis, McCarthy, Rye, Putnam, Suh. And a whole new brand of characters. Hatton, Kim, Davis, Todd, Suh, Kim. Michael Kim, that is. That's a pretty good one too. I like it. It's the winner. I'm putting $5 on. Hey, you do you, man. That would be cool though. Just coming back from having brain surgery and then boom, wins it. Kick Putnam, he says. Okay. Kick Putnam, 75. Putnam has been kicked. I'm gonna bring back Horschel though, see if he'll be selected. All right, one more good one, and Ben Taylor's not gonna be in the good lineup. Although Hatton, Kirk, Davis, Rose, Suh, and Taylor, that's not terrible. Okay, SH Kim shows up. Hatton, Davis, McCarthy, Batia, Suh, SH Kim. 49.4. Do I want to save that much? I don't think so. Don't think so. And I won't be saving that one either. That's Hatton, Kim, Davis, Svensson, Suh, Horschel. 110 to 1. That's pretty good. I won't be saving that one. I don't care for Baddeley. That's pretty good. Hatton, Poston, Davis, Rose, Suh. I should have saved it. I think I saved this one though. Mr. Novak, Andrew Novak. I could build lineups all night, but I think we're gonna call her quits. I don't want Harry Hall, that big goober with a dumb hat and flesh-colored beard. We don't like those peoples. Hatton, Siwoo Kim, Cam Davis, Alex Norton, Justin Suh, Vincent Norman. I love that lineup. What the hell? Oh, I disconnected. We're back. Hatton, Poston, Davis, Bradley, Suh, Buckley. Yeah, I like that one. See, now I'm just in a tailspin. I like way too many lineups. Way too many lineups. I don't want Lipsky in my line. Actually, this would be a good event for Lipsky. There you go. Troy Merritt shows up. I understand Tambo's Merit Matrix. I like it. I like that lineup. Bob Shelton. That's not terrible. CT Pan. Yeah, sign me up. It's a pretty good value at 6,100. And there's my boiling mirth. Corey Connors gets added to this one. Sure. That's it. That's it. No more. I'm so addicted though. No, I think this is it. We're saving it here. 7 people viewing. We're at 77 lineups built. That's it. We're done. No more lineups. Yeah. That's going to be the pod for this week. 2 hours, 23 minutes. I know Byron wanted me to go longer. No. No, you had your option. You had your choice. Or you had your chance, Byron. You had your chance. You can't just come in here and be like, I'm going to get him to stay on longer. Ain't happening, pal. Not happening. But it is interesting that Henley was not chosen whatsoever. Same with Aubert. Yeah, he did this on purpose, by the way. Here, I'm going to build you 5 lineups. We're going to machine gun through them. And you're just going to deal with them. Actually, I'll give you 10 lineups and we're machine gunning through them. I want to be nice. I'm going to be a good friend. We've got macro set up to run this. So Control R. If you have the optimizer, we'll just do it. Henley and McCarthy, Kuchar, Glover, Pendrith. That seems pretty good. Not saving any of these, by the way. Cole, Henley, and Kuchar, Glover, Neesmith. That's lineup 2 for you. Henley and Bradley Norin, Kuchar, Glover. That's lineup 3 for you. It's not terrible. Henley, Poston, and Kuchar, Glover, Higo. We're saving that one. Lineup 5. Was that 5 or was that 4? We'll say 4. Henley and Hadwin, Kuchar, Glover, Spawn. You like Spawn though. Oh no. The guy showed up. Henley, Poston, and Kuchar, Glover, Histasune. Okay. Alright. Alright. Sure. We gotta save one of those. That's lineup 6 for you. Thigala, Henley, and Kuchar, Glover, Zach Blair. It's lineup 7 for you. We add Crazy Karl. It's right up your alley. Byron. Ben Coles. Yeah, sign me up. Cool. That's lineup 8 for you. I might have missed some, but you know, we're being nice here. Henley, Poston, and Kuchar, Glover, Robert McIntyre. What the fuck? What the hell? Why are these lineups showing up now? Like, Bobby Mack is a guy I would want in my lineups. Histasune is someone I was thinking about playing. You throw all these random guys. There's lineup 9 for you. Here's your last lineup, sir. Thigala, Henley, Benny Ann, Glover, Woodland, Cagely. Okay, bonus round. You get one more. I didn't like that one. I didn't see one built, so we'll try again. The optimizer must have broke. I still don't see any lineups being built after I hit Control R. It's weird. Unbelievable, he says. Okay. We can end on this one. 83 line. How about Randy Moss? Let's do a Randy Moss. 84. Give us good old Minnesota Viking 84. This is a Byron special. Bunch of white boys together. Very, kidding, dude. What are you talking about? I said unbelievable. I'm keeping it right here. I'm not building any more lineups. One more? These were all your lineups. Go look back at the last like 12 lineups I built. I give Vince Whaley. There you go. You were talking about him in your Sunday show. This is your lineup. Henley, Poston, and Kuchar, Glover, Vince Whaley. There you go. There you go. We're good, right? We're good. No more. No more. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Oh, okay, I built one more, and you get Chuck Hoffman to go with it. Eric Cole, by the way. I like it. We've been 86th. All right, I'm calling her quits. Getting tired. I know, dude. It's a lot of Kuchar. 53%. Justin Suh was in 47%. Benny Ann in 37. Chris Kirk in 31. Tyrrell the Tyrant, 38%. And we kept our 6Ks pretty low, which is good. We want to see low 6K ownership. Yeah, I'll be building lineups tomorrow night in private, obviously. I don't think I'm going to go a lot of the routes that you guys did. I really want to try to build some Aubert lineups. I just don't ever want to, like... Yeah, Shalek Harden with the GIFs, the GIFs. Good luck. Hell yeah, dude. By the way, if you have any ideas for GIFs, I can switch those out. I just added the ones that I thought were going to be good. There it is. There it is. Oh my god. Shalek Harden, you're right, dude. His Wi-Fi is lagging. It's lagging so far behind. When he gets to this, he's going to find it so silly. You're right though, man. He's been lagging behind. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Ben Coles, you're confusing me. Now he just says, thanks, Darvo. Have an awesome evening. All right. Good luck, everyone. Hopefully you win some cash like Ryan did building these lineups. I will see you guys all later. Thank you for joining me. Hit that membership button. Hit the join button. Get those GIFs that Shalek Harden has. Get the little badge next to your name. Do it for the stream. Be cool. Be cool like Shalek Harden. All right. I'll see you guys later. See you, dudes.